my name is Kendra Jones and I work in the Youth Services Department of the Kingsport Public Library. Well, welcome to Scary Sweets. And today I'm going to show you how to make a spiderweb cupcake. And we might possibly put a spider on it too. But you'll need a few simple supplies. You can get your favorite cake mix. I have funfetti, but my actual favorite is chocolate. But you go with what you like. And you'll need the ingredients on the back of it. So remember, all them call for different things. So be sure to follow your box. But we're going to need some oil, some water that I've got pre-measured. And this calls for 4 eggs. So I've got them in a bowl. And one little touch, I like to put some vanilla in my cupcakes. It gives them just a little pizzazz. And to save yourself time, go ahead and line, I got trick or treats. Line your cupcake pan with your liners and make sure your oven's preheated. Mine needs to be 350 and it's preheating while you do all the magic. So I think we have all our supplies, so let's get to the mixing bowl. Alright, it's time to dump our ingredients. So first I put in my cupcake mix and I like to cut the top off so that way it's easier to pour in and not quite as messy. Then mine calls for a cup of water. We put our water in first and do our oil second, because if you've ever done it the opposite way, you'll notice that the oil doesn't measure up correctly with the water. So we want a good clean cup. And this calls for a 1/4, so there we go with that. And next we're going to add our eggs. Mine calls for 4 eggs. And if you're like me, sometimes you might accidentally drop a shell inside there, so just get you a fork to pull it out with. I am not one of these fancy egg crackers, but get the egg in there, that's all that matters. So we got 3 and 4. And one ingredient that's not on the box, but I like to add to my cupcakes is vanilla. I usually put a tablespoon. I normally eyeball it, but we're going to measure it today just to be safe. And that'll make your cupcakes fluffier and a little bit moister. Okay, that's all our ingredients, so we are going to head over to the mixing bowl. Alright, we are at our mixing bowl. So you can use a handheld mixer, but I always start out slow because the other day I wasn't paying attention and I went straight to high, and you can imagine everything went everywhere. Cake mix, eggs, vanilla, it's quite a mess. And I had to change clothes. So just let it go for just a little while. Get it all mixed up. And you can tell by looking at it if you got lumps or if you have cake mix still stuck. It smells good. Now, I'm just going to knock that off and I'm going to put my batter, my mixer over here in the sink. Now, I like to give it one good stir on the bottom because that likes to stick. Sometimes you'll find cake mix like that. Okay, I use a 1/4 cup to fill my cupcakes up. Now the cupcakes we're making today, you need a little bit of a flatter surface because we want to be able to see our spider web. So if you don't want to fill them up completely or this much batter, just means you get more cupcakes. But I like a nice full cupcake, and what we can do is if it's too tall, when it comes time to decorate it, and you can just slice that top off and have a little snack. And don't worry about spilling your batter. That's what they make napkins for. Alright, we got half left. And when we get to our decorations, we're going to make a very easy spider web. And then you can choose how you want to make the spider. You can actually buy the little spider rings and cut the backs off and just remind your guests not to eat it because it's plastic. You can make one out of M&Ms, or you can draw one on, which is probably what I'm going to do for you today. Alright, we got 2 left. One more. And you'll have a little batter left, and that's okay. You can just make more cupcakes. Or if you have another cupcake tin, then you can put them all in at once. My oven's good and hot at 350, so be careful when you put it in, so you don't spill the cupcakes and you don't burn yourself. And mine go for about 15 minutes, but you go by your oven and your box. So I will see you when they pop out. Alright, our timer has went off to let me know our cupcakes are ready. Oh wow, they smell really good. So, I'm going to let them cool for at least 30 minutes to be on the safe side because we're using a lot of frosting. I'd go an hour. So we're going to let these cool down and then we will come back and get to decorating. Alright, we have our supplies. We're going to need some white frosting, some black gel, a toothpick, and our butter knife. So, you want to get a cupcake that's a little flat like that and not rounded so you could see your spider web, but you are welcome to cut the top off if all your cupcakes went really high, and that's okay. So we're going to get it covered really good with frosting. If you're like me, you like a lot of frosting, you can do a lot of frosting. You want to get it pretty smooth so you can see our spider web decoration. Don't worry about if you get it on the wrapper, nobody's going to see that. Alright, now, it sounds like making a spider web is very complicated, but it's super duper simple. All you're going to do is take your gel and you're going to make one circle, as little or as big as you want it, and you're going to make another circle. Now it looks like a weird bullseye or an eyeball. You can turn it into an eyeball. But if you take your toothpick and start in the middle and lightly drag it all the way to the end, you're going to create a spider web effect. Now some frosting and icing works better than others. And if it's breaking up a little bit like this one is, we can fix that. So we're just going to go back just a little bit more. Touch it in there. Okay, and then we need to make our middle ones just a little bit more. Like that. Now if you want to, you can add a big giant spider there, which I'm just going to go make a big squiggly body, like so. And then we're going to make a little tiny head. And you can kind of smooth it down. And you can draw the legs if you want to, but I'm lazy, so I'm just going to pretend that everybody knows it's a spider. But you have made your own spiderweb cupcake. Time to enjoy.